Good afternoon and welcome to a brief overview of MWV's perspective on the role of packaging in topical delivery. Really, what we want to talk about today is to explain MWV's experience in patient adherence that we've learned on our solid oral dose packaging platforms, highlight the drivers of adherence and the potential issues in topical delivery, and introduce some of the products that we believe could propose a solution to these issues. So firstly, just a quick overview of MWV. We are a $5.5 billion company. We have about 80% of our business is in packaging, of which about 30% comes from emerging markets such as India, Brazil and China. We have about 16,000 employees worldwide. And we manage about 780,000 acres of sustainable forest land. We've been in the Dow Jones World Sustainability Index since 2005. Our packaging platform is focused on end markets. So we're organized in business units, divided between beauty and personal care, beverage, food, and of course healthcare, the business that I work for. And this focused end market participation allows us to develop deep partnerships with our customers. We use this market focus to develop market-focused insights to drive our innovation process, which I'll talk more about later. And we have a global manufacturing platform which executes and delivers against those projects. So talking about MWV's innovation process, we start with the customer or the consumer or the patient, and we do base research into the insights to give us the insights to drive our innovation process. We then have capabilities around package design and development, brand engagement, research and development, and of course open innovation. We're very keen to make sure that we're adopting the best solution for the insight that we've gained, rather than just one that we have invented. So switching to MWV's healthcare business specifically, we have two portfolios in our healthcare business. We have a pharmaceutical pumps and sprayer business, our medical plastics business, and we have an adherence enhancing packaging business. The adherence enhancing business is providing child-resistant, senior-friendly packaging, which enhances the adherence and the way in which the patients take their medication. And MWV is a leader in this field. The really exciting opportunity from my perspective about the issue of adherence in topical is the ability to take our learning and experience from the adherence side of the business and apply it to the dispensing systems side of the business. In terms of manufacturing platforms, we have a center of excellence for our dispensing systems business in Hamer, Germany. We manufacture pump systems in Brazil and in China. We have a secondary packaging business filling tablets and blisters in Florida, and we have various manufacturing sites for adherence packaging worldwide. MWV partners with a wide range of leading companies, from big pharma to generics to retail companies. For big pharma, it's very important to encourage your patients to stay on their therapy. It's much easier for a pharmaceutical company to increase the adherence of the patient to the product than it is to spend the money to find a new patient to put on their therapy in the first place. And from a retailer's perspective, if they can increase the number of times which a patient comes back to fill their prescription, they will increase the footfall through their stores. So they have a very vested interest in adherence as well. So looking at adherence overall, effective disease management obviously requires effective therapies, but they're only going to work if the patients adhere to them. And we very much like this quote from Everett Koop, the former US Surgeon General, where he says, "Drugs don't work in patients that don't take them." And I'm sure you've probably heard that one before. So the combination of MWV's business on the dispensing systems business and our experience in adherence packaging has led us to create this vision statement to be recognized as experts and viewed by our customers as essential partners in addressing patient health issues through proven, innovative solutions that promote medication adherence and precision drug delivery. And the reason that packaging is so important in adherence is that it does something that no other adherence program can do. There's a lot of different adherence programs out there, everything from electronic monitoring to nurses calling patients to remind them. But packaging touches every patient every day. And the other key factor of packaging is that it's very scalable. So in comparison to these other solutions, which may be very expensive and may have individual applications, packaging has a much broader application. So just looking at medication adherence and how we determine medication adherence on the solid oral dose side of the business. Obviously, adherence is the patient's compliance to the instructions all the way through the process, from the first prescription to the end of prescribing or the end of treatment, and that starts with the first prescription. Obviously, the patient has to go to the pharmacy and fill the prescription, but assuming that they do that, initiation is when they take their first dose. We then have the implementation and how well they implement the regime that they're required to take. And then there's the potential for the last dose or discontinuation. And the gap between those two is described as persistence. So non-persistence is where they have discontinued their therapy. So using those terms going forward, MWV generates real patient data in clinical trial situations using our MEMS technology. These are some examples of patient issues that we see in clinical trials situations. So the bars, the grey bars you can see on the charts here, represent missed doses or non-compliant doses. Patients are individuals and they have individual problems associated with adherence. There is not a one-size-fits-all answer here, but you can see on the table on the left there that this particular patient seems to be reasonably compliant with their therapy for the morning doses, but is very sporadic in the evening doses. So there's clearly something happening in their lifestyle that's affecting their ability to comply in the evenings. We have patients who demonstrate sporadic dosing. They'll behave extraordinarily in a compliant manner for a period of time and then lose the rhythm. Many patients we see take drug holidays where they stop taking the medication altogether for several days or potentially weeks. And some of these things may be related to side effect profiles of the medication. And then you get early discontinuation, where the patient complies well, but then stops at the end. One of the characteristics of the data that we've established is that if you can monitor the patient's performance for the first 6 to 12 weeks, you can predict their future performance. So the ability to monitor patients on an ongoing basis doesn't seem to be required. You can classify them very easily on the first few months of data, address some of the issues that they're seeing, and increase the levels of adherence. So in terms of the overall cost of adherence, there are a lot of numbers around here, and they're all very, very big. The one we have is about 564 billion worldwide for non-adherence. There's also an increased focus and spend on treating non-adherence by the pharmaceutical brands. Annual spending on that has gone up about nearly 300% since 2009, but is still a very, very small percentage of the overall marketing spend for a pharmaceutical brand company. So looking at medication adherence for topical treatments, packaging solutions can improve adherence. There are several marketed and new delivery systems available to help metered dose topical medications. This is an issue across a wide range of therapy areas and treatment types, but looking specifically at psoriasis and acne, there are multiple factors that drive adherence rates in topical steroids. Some of the reported ones are frustrations with the efficacy of the medication, inconvenience, and fear around side effects. But the data that we've got on this slide, the published data, shows that really about 50% adherence is about as good as you're likely to get in these types of therapy areas. So, packaging can help in improving dosing, improving the ease of use, and improving the cleanliness of the product while the patient is using it. And it may even have a role in collection of data. So looking at dosing, currently a lot of topical steroid products are delivered directly from tubes and are measured, they're dosed by something called fingertip units, as you may be aware. A typical dose is two fingertip units, which is done by squeezing the tube from the tip of the finger to the first joint on the hand. Now obviously if you're dosing in that manner, there's a high degree of variability that can come into the process. So looking at how we can improve that situation, using patient insights and working with patient populations, we've identified 3 things that the patients think about when they're looking at when they're using their topical therapies. One is easy to apply. The other is cleanliness in application, and the third one is around portability and the way that it fits into their lifestyle. Where does it sit? Does it sit in the bathroom cabinet, or is it in the purse? How does it actually fit into their life? Is something that patients really think about, and I think it's something that package designers need to apply into the way that they look at new products. I think the benefits of the right packaging are pretty clear. If we can provide controlled dispensing, then we can improve the cleanliness of dispensing, we can improve the repeatability of the therapy, which improves the ease of use, improves the fit with lifestyle, has the potential to improve the adherence, and offers better protection and integrity to the medication than a standard tube. So looking at MWV's current portfolio of products, we have a range of products for topical delivery, from foamer systems which allow a more even application of topical products, to airless piston-based systems and preservative-free spray systems for sterile products. Currently in development, and something that we're in discussions with our customers with at the moment, is a metered dose, a very simple metered dose pump on a tube. The advantage of this package is that it's only 4 additional components to a standard tube system. It's manufactured in GMP and it fits on a standard filling line. So the barriers to transitioning products to these types of patient-preferred systems which patients are more likely to be adherent in, are relatively low. Looking at electronic data capture, I showed some of the data earlier from our MEMS system. You can see on the left-hand side of the slide here that we have a variety of packages which capture data and then can either by wireless, USB or smartphone put them into our database capture system. Now this is something that we've used extensively on over 35,000 patients in solid oral dose delivery, and it's something we're very keen to move into on the topical delivery, to actually be able to say what is it patients are doing with their packages, when are they taking their doses, and get further insights into how the package can influence that. In terms of the application of this MEMS system, its usage is now pretty extensive. We've done this pretty much all around the world. And in terms of the patient research, MWV has conducted a significant number of trials among thousands of patients, quantitative and qualitative analysis in Europe and the US. We've run advisory panels with brand managers, physicians and pharmacists, and we have several clinical trials where we're looking at data from very large patient populations to really work out the connections between packaging format and the level of adherence that patients experience. So I think in conclusion, there's a demonstrated need for adherence improving solutions in topical therapy. Packaging can play a significant role in providing that. MWV has many years of experience in using packaging to influence adherence rates and to monitor patient adherence, and we have a range of products and solutions that can address these needs. So thank you very much. I'll take questions now, but if you would like to talk to us one-to-one, we are on the stand just the other side of that wall, so it's not a long walk. Thank you.